They called it Dunwich Hollow, a small mining town nestled deep in the Appalachian Mountains, founded in 1883. It wasn't on many maps, but the locals who lived nearby remembered it as a quiet, hard-working place. Coal miners, their families, a single church, and a tavern that doubled as the town's heart. But in the winter of 1914, something happened in Dunwich Hollow that defied explanation. By morning, the town was simply gone. Not destroyed, not burned, just gone. It began with strange sounds in the valley. Nearby farmers spoke of hearing low vibrations at night, like distant thunder or a giant machine buried underground. The animals refused to graze near the old mine. One miner, Thomas Grady, had told his wife he saw light beneath the earth, glowing veins moving like fire under rock. Everyone laughed at him, calling it whiskey talk. 3 days later, Thomas disappeared while working the night shift. They never found his body. The shaft he worked in collapsed without warning, sealing him inside. After that, the town changed. The nights grew unnaturally silent. People said the air itself felt heavier, as if something enormous was pressing down on them. Children woke screaming about voices in the mine. The preacher, Reverend Coyle, began preaching about sins that dig too deep. His sermons turned darker each week, and one Sunday, he burned his own Bible in front of the congregation, shouting that the ground beneath them was cursed. By the second week of December, half the town wanted to leave, but a snowstorm trapped everyone in. No one could get in or out. The single road had been buried under 10 feet of snow. The telegraph lines went dead. For 7 days, Dunwich Hollow was completely cut off. Then, one night, the storm suddenly stopped. And when the mail coach finally reached the valley a few days later, there was nothing there. No people, no buildings, not even ruins. The ground was perfectly smooth, as if nothing had ever been built there. No sign of burned wood or rubble, just snow and silence. The coach driver, a man named Elias Crow, wrote in his report that even the trees were wrong. They stood perfectly straight, evenly spaced, and made no sound in the wind. When he shouted, there was no echo. His horses refused to move forward, trembling violently until he turned the carriage around. Authorities thought it might have been an avalanche, but aerial photos taken years later showed no evidence of one. The valley floor was untouched, no scars in the earth, no landslides, no debris. It was as though the entire town had been lifted away. Over the next decades, stories spread. Some said a mining company returned secretly and sealed off something ancient they had uncovered, a vast cavern with symbols older than the native tribes of the region. Others believed the mine had tapped into a gas pocket that created hallucinations and madness, driving everyone to flee. But if they did flee, where did they go? No trace of the townspeople was ever found. No graves, no bones, no records. In 1967, a geological survey team was sent to map the old valley. Their leader, Dr. Adrian Fenwick, reported finding a strange magnetic distortion exactly where the town had once stood. His compass spun endlessly. Radio signals cut out the moment they entered the area. They camped there for one night. Only one man from that team returned, the intern, a young student named Henry Cales. He was found wandering miles away, barefoot in the snow, muttering, "They're still down there, but they don't remember who they were." When asked what he meant, Cales went silent and never spoke again. His diary, recovered later, contained one final entry written in shaky handwriting. "The ground hums. I can hear their voices under the frost. They want out." After that, the government quietly closed off the region. Officially, they blamed unstable terrain, but satellite scans taken in the early 2000s showed something chilling: faint geometric outlines beneath the valley floor. Roads, foundations, a church steeple, buried deep under ice and rock. The structures were perfectly preserved, like the town had been pressed down into the earth instead of destroyed. Even today, hikers who wander too close report strange phenomena. Static in their radios, headaches, Some claim to hear faint hymns echoing through the wind, as if a church service were still going on somewhere below. One man swore he saw a lamplight flickering through the snow at night, a small glow in the distance, moving slowly, like someone carrying a lantern through streets that no longer exist. Locals avoid the area. They say every few years, someone new goes missing trying to find it. Search parties always come back empty-handed. The only thing they ever find are perfectly round footprints, dozens of them, leading toward the center of the vanished town, and then stopping. No one knows what truly happened to Dunwich. Some say the town was swallowed by the earth. Others whisper it was claimed by something that lives beneath it, something ancient and waiting. But one thing's certain, on cold winter nights, when the snow is still and the mountains hum, you can almost hear them. The miners, the children, the preacher, still calling out from the hollow, as if they never left.